Everybody ready?
Come on, let's go.
All right, so a year ago, everybody was like, oh my gosh, no more Latu, no more Murphy twins.
Yeah.
What the heck are you going to do with the defense?
Yeah.
Now it's, oh my gosh, no more Schlesinger, no more Femi down the line.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the defense?
Man, I'm echoing your words as well. Oh my gosh. We're hoping within 15 practice we can find the next pass rushers, backers. Hopefully we can get more physical up front. These last couple of days, what we found is our defense is very energetic, so that's a good thing. They bring a lot of things we can overcome just by the energy alone. But I think we're progressing. Our defensive backs are playing really, really well. The strength of our defense will always be our linebackers. So the guys that have been waiting their turn, they're starting to step up only because of what the guys before them did. So really excited about our progress right now.
Any early candidates to be the next Carson Schlesinger?
That's a tough one. I would say, 6, 9, and 9. My 69 brothers. That's what I'm calling right now. And we actually have 2 number 9s out on the field. But those guys are playing really, really fast, and I think that's what gives us a chance. Isaiah's learning really quick. In the first 2 days, he did a great job transitioning from popping his feet to an initial stack and fold type defense to playing fast. We like to meet, greet, or beat our running back to the hole, and you saw it today. He's really changed his mindset in terms of how to play faster. And once we can get that going, I bet you, we can at least manufacture, half of what Carson has done for us.
You were kind of, generating some buzz based on what you did last year. Were you pursued by other programs, and were there opportunities that you turned down to come back to UCLA?
To be honest with you, my whole goal with my family and I was, we really wanted to finish what we promised to start here. So we kind of turned anything and everything down that might have came our way, only because in this recruiting world, there's so many things that have been said and then not done. And I'm trying to change the standard and make sure what I say I kind of follow through with. There's kids that have depended on me to make sure I kind of write it out. And so that's our plan right now. We're just going to, I've been really blessed with the position I'm in, so I'm going to take advantage of that.
How much has it helped John to just have a football focus through this off season?
Well, that's it. That's the key. This is actually his first time he had an off season. So his body is looking better, and his mindset is better. He's not having to juggle between football and baseball, and because of it, he's playing way faster. He's not trying to take one skill set and apply it to the other, and then when you come back, you switch to a whole nother game plan. So it's really showing out, and we were proud of him because we depended on him of being one of our leaders. He's a returner in that room, so in order for him to do that, he needed to be grinding with everybody else in winter conditions. So he's done that, and I think it's paid off.
How close is, go ahead. How close is Keanu to getting back to full out?
Oh, so he could have gone if we wanted him. Coach Foster is really good in terms of making sure we walk them through. We don't want to rush something that doesn't have to be rushed. He's had so many snaps from when he was at Oregon to when he played for us. So for us, it's more of the mental. We want to make sure he's in a mental. There's a couple guys that have been injured, but they're all in the mental. But the good part is they're hungry to get back out. So right now they're trying to play coach. They're trying to coach people up. And for me, I think the advantage that we have, because they're not taking reps, is all these young guys as well as transfer portals. Now they're taking all these reps. So we're trying to speed up everybody in terms of the learning process. And the guys that have been playing a lot, they're going to be the coaches on the sideline.
What about Gary? Where's he?
Same. He's actually running some individual drills, and actually had to kick him out today because I just wanted to walk through. Those guys have been working out so hard in winter that they want to prove and show that they're ready to go. And I just got to remind them that we don't start the season till September.
I remember back at Pro Day, you made it a point to mention Ben Perry as part of the linebacker group. Today we saw him, working with the secondary. I know at Louisville he had that flexibility, that versatility.
Correct.
Is that the plan for him?
Absolutely.
You move him around?
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of our defense. We try to line up 11 X's and see wherever they fit. And for him, he has the capability of playing in a defensive back room and a linebacker room. So, what we did with Kane, we're hoping to do that with him. And so it looks like so far he's progressing well.
How important was it to get Ciale back?
Oh, well, our standard is to try to go from inside out. So anytime we can get any defensive tackle is back. But by him coming back, he was able to improve in his leadership role. So we got Ciala coming back, Gary coming back, and Keanu coming back. So all these other transfer portals, as well as AJ, who's more a growing type kid, those guys can learn from it. But Ciala has definitely taken a different role. He was actually, Jay's sidekick, and now he is kicking the side. So he's doing good.
You have a lot of new assistants you're working with as well. What's that been like? Basically, kind of turning over the whole staff. Almost?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome only because of the experience that they bring. I'm very such an open book, and I want to take as much advice as I can. So from like Coach Meat and then Coach Jet. Coach Scotty already knows my defense, so he kind of every once in a while he'll tell me, hey, what about this? But Coach Meat brings just a whole different diversity to it. That the ideas that he's throwing into it, Coach Jets from the NFL to college, his ideas is just adding on to the capabilities of what we can do. And so there's a lot of, right now, the good thing is we're just going to focus on fundamentals, at least for the first 2 weeks, and then we'll mess around with the exotics coming through.
You think schematically you look similar to last year?
Yes and no. I think there's a foundation that we have set in place that, yes, we will look the same, but there's some things that we would like to change so that we're not always a blueprint already. We want to make sure that we come with some curveballs and some change-ups. So what we have shown in the past, it never looks the same anymore.
And on that note, last year you used the word unorthodox a lot.
Yep.
Is that still the case? And what's the, I guess, first things that some of the new guys, the transfers, are trying to learn?
Yeah, I love that word unorthodox. Only in my whole mindset is not making sure that I'm teaching what can show up on film, whether it be a scheme, whether it be a technique, and I'm not doing it because my coach taught me that, who his coach taught him that, who's his coach taught him that, and that's why I love the word unorthodox. So at least as a coach, we always think outside the box of what can help the players, and as a player, they also start to think outside of the box. Like the one thing that the scouts were saying was, they were really impressed that everybody could draw all 11 on the field, including Jay Toya. And I said, to me, that's normal. Like, to me, unorthodox is having everybody, if we're going to preach these 11 X's on the field, then they got to be able to draw them all. So that's, we're definitely going to stick with that. I think that helps us, and it allows us to move pieces around that is better for them, but not necessarily looks like the playbook.
Last year you said Jay really took a leadership role that helped you out because he knew you as the defensive line coach. Is there anyone this year from holdovers from last year that are stepping into that leadership role?
For sure. Up front will be Ciala and Gary and Keanu. Those three guys will definitely solidify the front. The linebacker core will be John John. John John is the guy that really took a backseat role because of the guys that played in front of him, but he's been a leader since day one. And then in the back end is really Kanye. Kanye is the guy that I pride myself on because he was the walk-on that ended up earning a scholarship and will be a starter for us. So he's the guy that he leads more by example, so I got to help and encourage him so that he can voice what he's really doing. And, I think when he does speak, people will listen because of his work ethic.
When it comes to guys who either redshirted last year or maybe didn't play as much last year, is there anyone you're particularly interested to see develop this spring?
Up front will be AJ, for sure. I think that kid, I'm going to say it, I know it's a big statement, but I think he will be better than Jay. He has so much tools, but he's so respectful, and he wants to wait his turn. And so it took a lot of encouragement to let him know that his turn was always there. He just got to go and take it. In the middle, Donnie will be one, Monet will be another, in terms of guys that have been waiting their turn that we should see really, really good things from. The secondary is interesting. Obviously Kanye, I think people know who he is and what you anticipate from them. But the other guys that for sure have been waiting their turn, the Jamirs, the Marquises, the Croys, those guys are really stepping up. And I attribute that to the guys that came before them. They saw what it's like, and now they're going to go out there and try to battle from what they've seen, try to imitate it, and then see if they can make a stamp on it.
Time for a couple more.
Okay?
You said at Pro Day that this year you want to put more of the defense in the players' hands.
Yeah.
Just how have they responded to that, and what does that mean for spring practice?
It means accountability. So with so many new guys and some veterans returning, but majority of our defense is all new. So for them, that has been an eye-opener because usually you tell them what to do and that's all they do. And for me, it's got to be a feedback because I can no longer cross that line. There's nothing I can do to actually win the game besides make calls. So for them, they've really taken it upon themselves. So when we're done with practice, they actually do extra study in film, so they can come back and say, "Hey, coach, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And from there, we'll slowly gather the strengths and weaknesses of everybody and come up with something good.
A couple questions ago, you said you want to stay true to your word. You want to, keep the promises you've made to guys.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk about, what are the sort of things you're hoping to accomplish this year?
Well, it's recruiting. In recruiting, we talk about stability, foundation, and we're trying to get these kids to buy in to what we think a Bruin is. I'm part of that process. So if I bring guys in and then take off, then that's I'm not really doing what I say I'm doing. And I know there's opportunities, but right now my opportunity is right here. It really is. And so if I can put my foot forward and then help build that foundation, I think we can build accordingly. Yeah. All right, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Yep.